break.
Hamza Taqi, also known as Mr. Excitement, is a business consultant, speaker, and coach. He consults people and business on various management, service, and leadership skills. His years of experience and knowledge combined with his exciting down-to-earth approach has made him one of the most sought-after consultants in the country.
What an interesting subject we're going to talk about with our first guest for today. To talk more about leadership and productivity, please welcome with us our first guest this morning, Coach Hamza Taqi. So hello and good morning.
Hello, good morning to you and good morning Kuwait.
You're most welcome and thank you for joining us today on our show. Good morning, Kuwait. Mr. Hamza Taqi, I know you for a very long time and you're one of the people who are responsible to make me as I am now.
No, I hope so. I hope I had some effect.
No, you have a major effect and influence in my career. And this is like the topic you already told me before until today. Are leaders born or developed?
Actually, this issue is confusing and there are multiple reasons for it. Mainly because of the phrase, there is an old phrase that says natural born leader. And from that came the idea of that leaders are born, not made. And of course, leaders are made. It's a skill. It's not, leadership skill is not an innate. It's something that you can develop over time. And I think one of the issues as well, because organizations promote excellent contributors to a leadership role without training them, without developing them to handle such a thing. Because I could be good in sales, but I can't be good in managing or leading salespeople.
Nice. So this is like how, like what he said, the leaders already developed. It's a new skill.
Yes, it's developed by the time, as you mentioned.
Yes.
So how can we actually develop a leadership? What is the process for that?
Okay, there are many ways in terms of development. There is training, there is coaching, executive coaching, for example, and mentoring. In our community, how we learn from our bosses.
Okay.
So if our bosses are good, we learn from them good. But if my boss is bad, then I learn the bad stuff, and that's what's
true.
happening. So going through, for example, or investing in leadership solutions, like going into training programs, development programs, and then monitoring that person to be an excellent leader, because there are many. Especially the people kind of skill, how to deal with your people, how to deal with your team is very important.
It's very important too, how to deal with your teams.
Yes.
How to deal with your team to gain a new skills to be a good leader. So especially you already speak to Sarah and for the viewers about how to lead the people. So if I want to take a next step as a leader, I have this new skill. If you want to be make a big career, I have to start my own business.
Yes.
So is it like it will help me to achieve my goals?
Leadership skills?
Yes.
Of course, it will help everybody. Like me at home, I can be a leader, okay? Or my wife can be a leader. Usually the wife is the leader at home because they do a lot of all the planning and they oversee everything. So leadership skills is people skills. And where we don't need people skills everywhere. It's part of our life that we're dealing with people. So we have to know how to have like emotional intelligence, how to communicate, how to listen, how to ask questions. And these are very important soft skills, but they are very important. I call them actually hard skills, not soft.
Hard skills to achieve your goals.
Exactly, and leaders actually they can guide a certain of a group to their goals and to their dreams, which is really important. And we know there is a leadership like standards, ordinary, and also we have outstanding leaders. So, what does differentiate the qualities of leadership?
That's a good question because see, good leaders, effective leaders. They are different than each other's. Like, we cannot see one leader copy paste on another. Each leaders lead with their strength, let's say. For example, if I'm a data-driven personality, then I will lead with the knowledge and discernment that I have and the information that I have to get my team up. If I am more of an empathetic leader, I will use my empathy to gain the trust of the team and then move them forward. If I'm inspirational or more directive. So each leader, well, there are many types of leader. You cannot have the same. But we kind of think that, you know, or the innate theory says that has to have a charisma or he has to be a certain height. Oh, we have like, you know, ordinary leaders that are really don't have even charisma. But they've been successful in their work because they lead with their strength. Maybe the charisma is not their strength, but the data and the information that and the analytical, you know, type that they will lead the organization for success.
Their effectiveness, actually, how they influence the group.
Yes, exactly.
So that's a good thing. And by the way, we talk about something else.
Yeah.
I know, like, leaders have too many skills.
Yes.
I see some glimpse about your account in social media
Yes.
about the tips of public speaking.
Yes.
You have too many tips. So is it like the leader have to have the skills of public speaking or not?
Definitely. That's one of the major communication as a whole. It's a major thing because you want to tell your team your vision. Where are we going? Are we going to Abdili North or are we going south to Afra? So the direction is very important, how you convey. And sometimes some leaders, they don't have that. And they can do it within, you know, a smaller team or one-on-one. They could be good at it.
Yes.
But if they can move the whole team together in one speech, that would be great.
So everything like summing it totally in one speech. That's good.
That's really good.
It's like, you know, I have a dream speech. Who doesn't know I have it changed, you know, America?
Exactly. So in business, like individuals can ascend to executive, like CEO or CIO. So the question is for you. So how are CEOs and top managers evaluated?
Okay, that's funny because we don't yet have that culture in this part of the world. But usually it is, we use an assessment that we conduct. It's called 360 degrees assessment. And mainly if you are our leader and we are your employees, you send us that assessment and we evaluate you in certain criteria.
Yes.
And then your colleagues who are in the same level of you, they will as well, they will evaluate you in terms of your interaction with them. And then your boss will evaluate you in terms of your effectiveness. So this is why it's called 360 degrees evaluation. Then you will end up with a report that shows your strength and some of your weaknesses that you need to work on. And you work on it through executive coaching or training programs.
Yes.
And you fix these things, and then after 6 months you do the same thing and see whether you have developed or not. And that's a very effective tools to develop leaders all over Kuwait.
So it should be like in this circle, a 360 circle.
Yes, because see, sometimes your boss likes what you're doing, but your employees don't like the style that you are doing the things the way you are doing it, because See, we have to understand one thing. See, leaders must know that they get paid for the work of their staff, of their team. So they have to be very careful how to deal with their team and how to inspire them to give their best for the organization and achieve the goal. So he or she as a leader must really take care of their team.
And there is something else also in my mind. I know, like, because you taught me too many things before, like I see your glimpse about how you're talking, same spontaneous, same style as ever. This is like your nature thing.
You.
So let's talk about something important.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is negative thoughts. You will think, because you in the off air you said we think a lot.
Yes.
We managing a lot. This is like a negativity, and that's a good thing. So is it like if you think about negative thing, it will lead you to another negative things also? Like if I think about negative topic, it will drag me to negative thoughts like in the past happening to me. Is it right?
Yes. For example, during the COVID and the crisis that we are in now, many leaders, just their work was just to inspire their team and to make them see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's the work of a leader, because, you know, some leaders, they come and say, oh yeah, we have COVID and social distancing, 50% employment, some virtually, and you know, going through this gas. And then the morale of the staff will be, because they see their leaders. If the leader is positive, is knowing, you know, what's gonna happen. Nobody knows, but at least shows that he is taking all the measures to sail safely in the ship to reach the destination that they are. Because, see, frankly, the world is that we live in, it's never, we never know what's happening.
Yes.
But being positive, it will help you rather than being negative. Being positive, it definitely will help you. It will help your team. Seeing their boss is positive and happy, then they will be happy. If the boss is worrying and thinking of, oh, what's going to happen in the future, our job is going to be safe, then it will go into
attract the group.
Yes, exactly,
that,
on the whole group.
So he opens something nice. You have to be optimistic, Sarah.
We have to be optimistic is the main key for
All
the
the
leaders.
time. Now, you cannot fake it. Sometimes you have problems. You have to face those problems and tackle them. But being optimistic is all about, you know, seeing the future, knowing the capability of the team, knowing your products and services as an organization, and you know that you have an insight, you know that you can lead and you can go through any obstacle that comes to you, and that's the you know you call it the grit of you know, being gritty, because we fail. No matter what we do, if we are in innovation, if we are developing stuff and we are always doing different stuff, we will end up failing. And how the leader deals with that failure.
So this is how can a leader motivates his or her group?
It's very
being
important.
Optimistic. So, can anyone be a leader?
Yes, anyone can be leader. Even the T-boy in our organization can be a leader, leading the kitchen, leading the stuff that they're, you know, taking care of all the services that they have.
Yes.
Everybody can be a leader. When we are in school, we were leaders sometimes.
Exactly,
you know. So leadership is for everybody. But what I'm saying, sometimes as a leader, I am following another leader.
Oh.
Yes, so sometimes you need to follow, and sometimes you will be followed as a leader. So it is reciprocal.
Like in our work here on TV, we have directors, we have assistant directors and executive directors. They are all leaders, but sometimes, as you already said, it's about the situation.
Yes.
Who can lead in this time?
Oh, this is very important. Being situational as a leader is very important. Because most of the leaders, they deal with their staff the same. Now, that's a problem, because you have somebody who is really good in certain skills or excellent in certain skills. You cannot treat him the same way or give him the same time that somebody is a beginner.
Yes.
The beginner requires totally different approach, different discussion, more time, more directive, more like smart goals. The person who is skillful and knowledgeable only he needs, maybe delegation.
Yes.
And maybe get him to or her to teach others, so they feel empowered, they feel they have something to contribute for.
Yes, and that can be learned by experience, isn't it?
The situation leadership,
situation.
yes, and there is a methodology for it. For example, the first thing you have to know how to set goals, smart
Yes.
goals, and then how to communicate that goal. So sometimes we set goals, but we don't know the way we communicate it to the person,
Yes.
so they take it in a bad way. Communicating that goal and putting the motivational part, it's like I always use this analogy where, the big tank of oil that goes through the ocean.
Yes.
Okay.
It's huge. It's as big as, maybe bigger than this building that we are in.
Yes.
But it moves in certain direction. Somebody is sitting somewhere listening to the direction of the captain, and he
Navigation.
moves just a small, small gear that he has in his hand. And this was linked to the huge thingy that moves and moves the ship. So that person had to know that his work or his job is very significant
And there is something
for
else.
achieving the goal.
And there is something very important. The key word is trust. If you build a good trust, this is like you say with the example of the tank, it begins about trust. If I trust this guy who is going to lead us, this is important, right?
Trust is the foundation for building a team.
Oh.
It's the main thing. If you don't
Yes.
have trust within a team, like let's say we are a team, all of us, with the cameraman, we are a team. If there is lack of trust, we will not contribute in our best. Because a trust gives you the other level, which is being vulnerable. Like if I make a mistake, I come and say, Abdulaziz, I made a mistake. I'm really sorry. Sarah, I made a mistake. I goofed. But if there is no trust, I might, hide that mistake and pretend that I didn't do it or it's not. And then it will backfire on the whole team. So coming forward and stating what went wrong to fix it immediately rather than, put it under the mat and
Yes.
keep it and show that nothing is happening and you go into your days
Yes.
will
So
have
that's
problems.
what make the team specialize. Trust is the main thing.
Yes.
Number one.
So trust is the main goal.
And that's actually the leader job,
Yes.
to build that trust, and
Exactly.
it starts with him or with her. I mean, once I was given an assignment, and I did the assignment, and then the top management didn't want us to do this assignment. So my boss told me, "Why did you do the assignment?" I said, "The only way I did the assignment because you told me." He said, "Show me in writing."
Yes.
And that's, of course, the trust is gone because he told me to do something, and then because it was not supposed to be done, the higher management knew about it. They told him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Well, it's this guy. He did it. It's not me." So he's blaming his staff now. If you're working with a boss like this,
no one going to trust him.
You will not work. You work toward keeping your chair. And
Yes.
keeping your salary, and you go, under the wall, just, acting, like nothing is happening, and no productivity, no innovation.
And there is something,
So great.
Mr. Hamza, you are a consultant for a very long time, and you
Not that long.
Yeah, you're still a flower, mashallah. And you met too many people you already consultation,
Yes.
too many people you met.
Yes.
So give me one example of a person, still until today you will see a huge result, but in a brief,
In what way?
in a leader.
Okay. You want me to name them?
No, just give me an example and a story.
Okay. There is a leader that I met when my first job in the bank, and he is like a senior manager, and we had around us senior manager. We were working the floor on a special assignment, and we were under training program. This gentleman, he's the only one in the floor that came with a smile to say hello to us and shake hand and ask us, where did you graduate? How long you've been here? What are you doing? And the others just, they would look at you like this. Who are these guys? The new guys that we're 4 or 5
Yes.
that are here. And they just pass by this. And this person, I learned from, because I had to work with him afterward. And I learned a lot from him. And even when he moved out of the banking and he had put his own, legacy and his own company, I was recruited and I worked with him. I was supposed to do like 3 years on a special assignment to expand their retail networks.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden I spent 6 years there.
Wow.
After finishing this project, that we went to the B business, and we did a lot of things, because he's the type that he's a creator. He's always coming up with the new ideas, how to solve problems and so on. And I'm the person who loves to create things and do stuff and
Yes,
see
that's
it,
really
going.
quite good story, Aziz, and really lovely, actually, interview we had with you, Mr. Hamza.
Thank
But,
you for having me.
You are most welcome, but unfortunately we ran out of time.
Thank you.
I
Thank
will
you
say
for
that
having
good times run very fast. We are
Yes.
proud of you, and thank you very much.
Thank
for
you.
being
Thank
with
you
us
for
today.
having me. Thank you
You're
for
most
having
welcome.
me.
So
Thank you,
all
sir.
thanks to Mr. Hamza Taqi. He's the one, we call it the consultant and the life coach. Now, dear viewers, be with us. We're going to share too many things with you in our show, but after this break.